Hello everyone, this is Weatherman Brayden with a video, and today we're looking at weather in Florida and the tropics. As you can see, we are on 12Z on the GFS, 12Z model run, and yeah, here we go. So as you get into the run, we got a bunch of high pressure going over Florida. There is, in the Pacific over here, there's a tropical storm, bona fide tropical storm, and then it goes and weakens. And we have a high pressure over Oklahoma, low pressure coming in to cold front coming into Florida, makes its presence known and gives a bunch of rain down through the whole state. And then we get a break from the rain, and then we're right back to it with another front. And now we're going to go to the European model and see what it shows for our weather in the next week. A lot of high pressure, and then we get some rain on the July 17th. Really just a whole out flood rain event for that day, and really just it. And then we get a huge tropical moisture from the Gulf of America right there, and we get a bunch of moisture, and that's in the run because it only goes out to 144 hours. Wish it could go farther, but that's not how it goes. Now we're going to go to the AI European model. Start the run over. Hopefully everyone's having a great day today. Yeah, we have a bunch of tropical moisture, bunch of rain that the model is showing. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like it's going a little aggressive with the rain. I don't think there's that much rain. Then we get a tropical, looks like to be a tropical depression that goes into Louisiana, and we get some more rain to go into Florida around July 29th, towards the end of the month. And now let's look at the Canadian model. Warm weather, showers and thunderstorms. Same case with all the others. It's really not a bunch of whole difference in the models right now. Looks like there's another front. There's a front coming in, and most of the heaviest rain is going to be in South and North Carolina. Let's go to and see our Tropics update. As you can see, National Hurricane Center 7-day outlook has no development in the next 7 days. But if you look in the Pacific, we've got not one, not two, but 4 disturbances and all have a high chance of developing in the next 7 days. In my personal opinion, these two have the greatest chance. This one, I think these three have the greatest chance because these two are red, and they're near the warmest temperatures. If we go back to tropical tidbits and we go to East Pacific and go over here, you can see that we have a bunch of warm waters off the coast of Mexico. Here we have 30 degrees temperature Celsius waters. 31, that's for people who live in the US, it's 86 degrees or higher. And I think the reason why National Hurricane Center is giving these tropical disturbances is because they know that they're going through some really warm waters off the coast of Mexico that will enhance the development of these systems. And now we'll go to see what the ENSO's doing. We have an El Nino taking shape. It's supposed to be the strongest since 2015. And our Atlantic waters are really below average. We got some above average in the Gulf of America, and and now let's go to the Western Atlantic. Let's go to the North Atlantic, and let's see what's coming off Africa in the Atlantic Ocean. Looks like we have a tropical wave coming off of Africa. It seems to be getting destroyed by a bunch of dry air because we have a bunch of dry air coming off Africa. Bunch of tropical waves just coming off. And as you can see, we got a tropical hurricane. It looks to me like a hurricane off of Mexico. And a very dominant high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic. If we go North Atlantic, look at our relative humidity. Let's go back to when that so as this tropical wave comes off of Africa, there's a bunch of moisture, but around it there's just too much dry air for it to keep developing, so it ends up it has a lot of dry air around it, so just dry air eats it alive. It doesn't develop because there's so much dry air coming off of Africa right here. So that's why the end all be all is that there's no tropical wave, or that tropical wave gets destroyed because it's dry air. But a bunch of moisture over here in the Caribbean. Bunch of moisture. Now let's look at the AIGFS and see what it's showing on. Alright, no, let's look at the Euro. A little different from the GFS, the Euro actually has this developing right around July 19th. Gets down to a depression, and then it stops, and then the model run stops at July 20th. So we really can't go out farther. I wish we could. We got and This is the relative humidity in dry air. Really, it comes off Africa with a bunch of moisture, and there's already a bunch of dry air ahead of it on this run. But it looks to me like if it were to if the Model 1 would keep going, it would eventually dissipate because there's just too much dry air around it, and quite frankly really strong, because the deeper the colors of dry air, the more significant it is, because then the lighter the colors, the better. We don't want a lot of dry air. We want no dry air. We want a lot of moisture and no wind shear. And if we look at our wind shear, see the wind shear. It's got a little bit of dry air on its northeast, but it starts out really great, but it's heading right into that dry air, and it has a lot of dry air to compete with, so I really don't think it has that really good opportunity it needs. And the temperatures in the Western Atlantic, the conditions are prime, I think, but we just got some conditions that aren't there: the dry air, the wind shear. But what is there is the temperatures. We have a bunch of great temperatures. We got really boiling, and I mean boiling temperatures in the whole Gulf of America. We got you need 27 degrees Celsius. Not Celsius. You need 77 degrees Fahrenheit to get any storm to form. We got plenty of fuel in the Caribbean and the Gulf. If we get anything to come through here, it is going to rapidly intensify. And if we go back to years prior, (2017) had a bunch of warm water. Last year, the years prior, we've had a bunch of warm water and a lot of good conditions, and it really intensified those storms. And that is why if we look at the temperatures, because they can impact how these seasons go. Alright guys, this is Weatherman Brayden signing off. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.